to President Zelensky, or do you intend to
Who?
meet President Zelensky about your plan? Are you going to meet with him?
I've spoken with their people. We have a plan. It's horrible what's happening. It's a war that should have never happened. It would have never happened if I was president, and it's a shame. And I thought they should have acted quicker. But it's a cold winter, and a lot of the you talk about utilities, but a lot of the big energy-producing plants have been under attack, to put it mildly, to put it nicely. Yeah, we have a way of getting peace, or we think we have a way of getting peace. He's going to have to approve it. Just so sad, so many people. You know, last month they lost 25,000 soldiers. This is something, we haven't seen anything like this since the Second World War. And they're averaging 6,000 or 7,000 a week between the two of them, dead soldiers. And it goes on, and I think they're getting reasonably close, but I don't want to predict. I would have said that would have been one of my early ones. I did 8 peace deals of countries, including in India, Pakistan. You could even go, in fact, they're coming here in a week or two, go to the Congo and Rwanda. That was 10 million people dead, and we worked something out on that. But so many, and the one I thought would have been, for me, because I have a very good relationship with President Putin, I thought that would have been maybe quicker, but it does take 2 to tango. And now you just see all the death. And, you know, it doesn't affect us other than the fact that we don't want to see all those people that really, it's on the other side of the ocean. It's a war that should have never happened. It did happen. I blame the person also sitting right behind this desk. This is a war that should have never happened, and it wouldn't have happened if I were president. But we're trying to save a lot of lives. They're losing 25, think of that, 25,000 lives over the last short period of time. That's Ukrainian and Russian.
Volodymyr Zelensky has said Ukraine faces one of the most difficult moments in its history. After Donald Trump demanded Kyiv accept within days a US-backed peace plan, that is, peace plan in quotes, that would force it to give up its territory, that is, force Ukraine to give up its territory to Russia and make other painful concessions. Trump is also threatening to cut vital intelligence sharing and weapons supply to Ukraine if it fails to agree to the peace deal.
Ukrainian women. In the life of every nation, there's a moment when we all need to speak honestly, calmly, without speculation, rumors, or gossip, without anything superfluous, just as it is, just as I always try to speak with you. This is one of the most difficult moments in our history. The pressure on Ukraine right now is among the most challenging it has ever faced. Ukraine now finds itself facing a very difficult choice, either the loss of its dignity or the risk of losing a crucial partner. It's either the challenging 28 points or an extremely harsh winter, the toughest and further risks. A life devoid of freedom, devoid of dignity, devoid of justice, and we're expected to believe the one who has attacked us, he not once, but twice?
We will be expected to provide an answer.
But he actually gave it on May 20th, 2019, when swearing allegiance to Ukraine, I specifically stated, I, Volodymyr Zelensky, chosen by the will of the people as President of Ukraine, pledge with all my actions to defend, uphold the sovereignty and independence of Ukraine, defend the rights and freedoms of citizens, adhere to the Constitution and laws of Ukraine, fulfill my duties in the interests of all compatriots, and enhance Ukraine's authority in the world. For me, this is not a mere protocol formality, a tick box exercise. It is an oath, and every single day, to each and every one of its words, I remain faithful. I will never, ever betray it. Ukraine's national interest must always be taken into account. We are not making loud statements. We will calmly work with America and all our partners. We will constructively seek solutions with our main partner. I will present arguments, I will persuade, offer alternatives, but we certainly won't give the enemy any reason to say that Ukraine doesn't want peace, that it is disrupting the process, and that Ukraine is not ready for diplomacy. This will not happen. Ukraine will be working fast. Today, on Saturday and Sunday, all of next week, and for as long as it will be necessary. In a 24/7 mode, I will be fighting to ensure that among all the plans points, at least 2 are not overlooked. This is the dignity and freedom of Ukrainians. For it is precisely upon this that everything else is built, our sovereignty, our independence, our land, our people, and the Ukrainian future. We will and we must do absolutely everything to ensure that the war finally comes to an end and that Ukraine does not face its end nor Europe's demise or the loss of global peace. I have just been speaking with our European colleagues. We are truly counting on our European friends who absolutely understand that Russia is not some distant problem, that it is right here, directly on the borders of the EU, that Ukraine currently serves as the only shield which separates a comfortable European way of life from Putin's ambitions. We remember that Europe stood with us. We believe that Europe will continue to stand with us. Ukraine must not relive the déjà vu of February 24th, when we felt completely alone, when no one could stop Russia except for our heroic people who stood as an unbreakable wall against Putin's army. And we were undoubtedly very pleased when the world said, Ukrainians, they are incredible. My God, how they fight, how Ukrainians struggle, what titans they are. And that is absolutely true. But Europe, and indeed the entire world, must understand another truth, that Ukrainians are first and foremost human beings. And for almost 4 years of full-scale invasion, we have been holding back one of the world's largest armies. And we are holding a front line that stretches for several thousand kilometers. And our people every night endure shelling, missile attacks, ballistic strikes, Shahed drone strikes. And our people every day lose someone close to them. And our people desperately want this war to end. We are, of course, like steel. But even the strongest metal might not endure. Don't forget this. Be with Ukraine, be with our people, and therefore be with dignity and freedom. My dearest Ukrainians, please remember that very first day of the full-scale war. The vast majority of us made a very important choice, a choice to stand up for our beloved Ukraine. Remember how we felt back then, and what was it like? It was dark, loud, difficult, painful, and many were afraid. But the enemy didn't see our backs turning to flee. He saw our eyes full of resolve to fight for what is ours. This is dignity and this is freedom. And thus, this is truly the most terrifying thing Russia could ever face, to see the unity of Ukrainians. Until that time, our unity was focused on the crucial task of protecting our home from the enemy. And now unity is also essential for us more than ever to ensure a dignified peace within our home. I am addressing all Ukrainians right now, our people, our citizens, our politicians. Everyone must come together, come to their senses, and stop this endless squabbling. We must put an end to these political games. The state simply has to function. The parliament of a warring country must work unitedly. The government of a warring country must work effectively. And all of us together must not forget and not confuse who exactly is today the enemy of Ukraine. I distinctly remember on the very first day of the war, various emissaries were bringing me a range of plans, specific conditions and ultimatums regarding the war's conclusion. They insisted it's either this particular way or absolutely no other. Either you sign this or you'll simply be eliminated. And the acting president of Ukraine will sign it instead of you. How this ended is known. Many of these envoys became part of the exchange pool and with their proposals and points were sent back home to their native harbor. I did just say, Boze, Edenas to betray Ukraine back then. I distinctly felt behind my shoulders the support of every single one of you, every Ukrainian man and woman, every soldier, every volunteer, every medic, diplomat, journalist of our entire nation. We did not betray Ukraine back then. We will not do so now. I definitely know that in this truly one of the most difficult moments of our history, I am not alone. That Ukrainians believe in their own state, that we are truly united, and in all formats of upcoming meetings, discussions, and negotiations with our partners, it will be much, much easier for me to achieve a truly dignified peace for our nation and to convince them, knowing 100% the people of Ukraine stand firmly behind me. Millions of our people who possess dignity, who fight for freedom, and who have earned peace. All our fallen heroes who gave their lives for Ukraine, who are now in heaven and deserve to see from there that their children and grandchildren will live in a dignified peace. And this peace will be truly worthy, genuinely effective, and truly long-lasting. My dear Ukrainians, the upcoming week is going to be very challenging and packed with many significant events. You are a mature, intelligent, conscious people who have proven this many times and who understand that at this time there will be a lot of pressure, political pressure, informational pressure, various kinds of pressure to weaken us, to divide us. The enemy does not sleep and will do everything to make sure that nothing works out for us. Will we allow them to do this to us? We simply have no right to let that happen. And we will certainly succeed because those who are trying to destroy us, they truly don't know us well. They don't understand who we truly are deep down. What is it that we stand for? What do we stand for? What kind of people are we? It's not without good reason that we commemorate the Day of Dignity and Freedom as a national holiday. This clearly shows us who we truly are and what our core values represent. We will work on the diplomatic front for the sake of our peace. We must work unitedly within Ukraine for the sake of our peace, for the sake of our dignity, for the sake of our freedom. And I believe and I know that I am not alone. With me stand our nation, our society, our warriors, partners and allies. All our people are dignified, free and stand united. Happy Dignity and Freedom Day.
Here is Putin's reaction to the peace deal.
This wasn't discussed in public, maybe most in the most general terms, but it's no secret that President Trump's peace plan to resolve the situation in Ukraine was discussed before our Alaska meeting, and during that prior discussion, the American side asked us to make certain concessions asked us to show what they called flexibility. The main goal of our meeting in Alaska was that during the talks in Anchorage, we confirmed that despite certain issues and complications on our part, we agree to those suggestions and we are ready to show the flexibility we were asked for. But as we see, after our talks in Alaska, there was a certain pause taken by the United States. We know that this was due to Ukraine's actual refusal from President Trump's peace settlement plan. And I believe this was the reason for its new iteration, the 28-point plan. We have this plan. We received it through our channels of cooperation, and I guess it may serve as foundation for final peace settlement. But this text wasn't discussed with us in detail, and I can surmise why. I guess the reason is the same. The US administration still hasn't been able to secure the approval of Ukraine. Ukraine opposes to that. Obviously, Ukraine and its European allies still harbor illusions and still dream of delivering a strategic defeat to Russia. I think this position is not due to low levels of competence. I won't discuss this side of the matters now, but I think this position is due to lack of objective information on the real situation on the ground, on the battlefield. And obviously neither Ukraine nor Europe realizes what this ultimately may lead to. Just one example, the latest one, Kupiansk. Just recently, on the 4th of November, I believe, 2 weeks ago basically, Kyiv publicly announced that there are no more than 60 Russian troops in that city, and within a matter of days, this city, they claimed, would be fully deblocked by Ukrainian troops. But let me inform you that even back then, on the 4th of November, the city of Kupiansk had been completely claimed by the Russian troops. Our guys were cleaning up blocks and streets. The fate of the city had been sealed by then. What does it tell us? Either the Kyiv leaders have no information on the situation on the battleground, or they have that information, but they can't evaluate it properly. If Kyiv doesn't want to discuss President Trump's propositions, if they refuse to do that, they and the European warmongers must realize that the events in Kupiansk will repeat inevitably in other key sections of the front line. Maybe not as quick as we would like it, but inevitably they will repeat. And in general, we are satisfied with that, because the goals of the special military operations are being achieved through armed warfare. But as I said many times before, we are ready for peaceful talks. We are ready to resolve the issues in a peaceful manner. This, however, requires